Ladies and gentlemen, you know what really hurts? It's not the physical scars we carry, though they are significant. It's the silent battles, the ones fought within, the ones you don't see, the struggles that challenge our spirit and test our will. Life, in all its beauty, also presents moments of hardship that seem overwhelming, and in those moments it's easy to feel like giving up is the only way out. But here's the thing, true growth never comes from avoiding pain. It comes from facing it head on, feeling it deeply, and letting it shape you into something stronger. Every challenge, every setback, every moment where you feel like you can't go on is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to refine your character, and to find that quiet strength you didn't know existed inside you. Well, we often think that the goal is to reach a place where there is no pain, no hardship. But the truth is, that's not where the value lies. The real value is in how we respond when life hits us hard. The real value is in embracing the hurt, acknowledging it, and using it as fuel to move forward. That's where the transformation happens. So don't shy away from feeling hurt. Don't ignore the moments that challenge you. It's in those moments that your greatest lessons are waiting. And while you may feel alone in those struggles, know that everyone faces them. We all carry our own burdens, and sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is connect with someone else who understands. Empathy, understanding, and shared vulnerability are the ties that bind us in our humanity. It's okay to not have everything figured out. It's okay to fall, but what's important is that you rise with more clarity, with more strength, with more compassion, because in the end, it's not the hurt that defines you. It's how you choose to respond to it. Facing challenges is an inherent part of the human experience, and at times it can feel overwhelming. Life is not always smooth. There are moments when the path ahead seems unclear, filled with obstacles that seem insurmountable. These challenges often present themselves in many different forms: personal struggles, professional setbacks, unexpected loss, or health issues. Each challenge brings with it a certain level of discomfort and difficulty, testing not only our patience, but our resilience. Yet there is something powerful in facing these challenges, something transformative. It is easy to get caught up in the idea that success is about avoiding failure or maintaining a constant state of happiness and comfort. We live in a world where instant gratification is often prized, where the idea of having it all without effort is a dream sold to us at every turn. However, the reality is that life is filled with challenges and obstacles, and these difficulties are not only inevitable, but necessary for personal growth. When faced with a challenge, it's natural to feel defeated, to question our abilities, even wonder why we are being put through such a difficult experience. However, what we may not immediately realize is that in these very moments, we have the potential to build the resilience that will carry us through future obstacles. The key is in how we respond to these challenges. Resilience is not something that is innate in us. It is something that we develop over time through experience. When we face challenges head-on, we strengthen our emotional, mental, and physical endurance. It is in confronting difficulty that we learn our own limits, expand our capacity to endure, and discover the depth of our strength. At first, we may not feel strong, and that's okay. The strength doesn't come from the absence of pain, but from our ability to carry on despite it. It's also important to note that resilience doesn't mean that we should endure hardships without acknowledging their impact. Often, there is a misconception that resilient people never feel the weight of their struggles. But true resilience isn't about ignoring the pain. It's about recognizing the pain and continuing to move forward despite it. It's okay to feel exhausted, to feel hopeless at times. It's okay to take a step back, to rest and recharge. However, what truly defines resilience is the ability to get back up after falling, to keep trying even when the odds seem against us. It is the ability to keep moving forward even when it feels like progress is slow or the outcome uncertain. Challenges also have a way of revealing who we are beneath the surface. In the face of adversity, we are forced to confront our values, our beliefs, and the things that truly matter to us. We often discover hidden strengths we didn't know we had, as well as weaknesses we may need to work on. This self-discovery is a crucial part of resilience because it allows us to better understand ourselves and the world around us. The process of facing challenges is not always linear. There may be moments when progress seems stagnant, and it can feel as though no matter how much effort we put in, nothing changes. This is where many people falter. They may feel like the challenge is unbeatable, or that they are not making the impact they hoped for. However, it's essential to remember that growth often happens in increments that are too small to notice in real time. Sometimes the most significant growth happens in the smallest steps forward, in the moments when we think we've made no progress at all. The key is to trust the process, to have faith that every step, no matter how small, is moving us closer to where we need to be. A vital aspect of facing challenges is the ability to learn from them. Challenges are often viewed as roadblocks, things that stand in the way of our goals and dreams. However, they also present us with the opportunity to learn and adapt. When we encounter obstacles, we are given the chance to reevaluate our strategies, our mindsets, and sometimes even our goals. Challenges force us to think creatively, to find new solutions, and to see the world from a different perspective. Facing challenges also allows us to build empathy and compassion. The struggles we go through help us connect with others on a deeper level. We all experience hardship in different ways, but our shared experiences of pain, frustration, and uncertainty can foster a sense of solidarity and understanding. When we face challenges, we are reminded of our humanity, and it's often in those moments that we can offer the most meaningful support to others who may be going through their own struggles. Challenges do more than test us. They shape us. They provide the lessons that will guide us in the future, helping us develop resilience, strength, and wisdom. It is not the challenges themselves that define us, but how we choose to face them. Do we allow them to break us, or do we use them as stepping stones to become stronger, more capable versions of ourselves? The way we choose to respond to difficulty is what ultimately shapes the course of our lives. Through facing challenges, we grow, learn, and become more resilient. And it is this resilience forged in the fires of hardship that carries us forward, ready to take on whatever the future may hold. The power of vulnerability is often misunderstood. In a world that values strength and self-sufficiency above all else, we are often taught that showing vulnerability is a weakness, that it makes us more susceptible to harm, and that we should guard our emotions, our fears, and our insecurities as though they were precious commodities. We are encouraged to build walls around ourselves, to put on a facade of invincibility, so that others can see us as strong, composed, and unaffected. However, this belief in the necessity of emotional armor only serves to create barriers between us and the most important aspects of our humanity. It is not a sign of weakness. It is in fact one of the greatest strengths a person can possess. It is the willingness to expose our true selves, to reveal the parts of us that are imperfect, uncertain, or struggling. It is the courage to be open about our fears, our desires, and our mistakes. And it is through this very openness that we find the opportunity for growth, connection, and healing. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we are essentially acknowledging that we don't have all the answers, that we are not invincible, and that we are, in many ways, still in the process of figuring things out. This is not a sign of failure, it is a sign of courage. It takes great strength to admit that we don't know everything, to let go of the need to be perfect, and to embrace the uncertainty that comes with being human. In fact, it is through this acceptance of imperfection that we open ourselves up to new possibilities. By embracing vulnerability, we allow ourselves to learn, to evolve, and to adapt. Vulnerability also plays a crucial role in emotional healing. When we allow ourselves to truly feel, to experience our emotions in their full depth, we give ourselves the space to process and release them. Bottling up emotions or pretending that we are unaffected by life's challenges can lead to emotional stagnation, which can result in a variety of mental and physical health issues. By contrast, when we give ourselves permission to feel sadness, fear, joy, and hope, we engage in a natural process of emotional regulation and self-care. Vulnerability, in this sense, is not something to fear. It is a powerful tool for self-healing. One of the most profound aspects of vulnerability is its role in connection. Human beings are social creatures, and we thrive on meaningful relationships. Yet, these relationships are only possible when we are willing to share ourselves with others, to expose our true selves, flaws and all. Vulnerability creates the foundation for deep, authentic connections, because it allows others to see us for who we truly are. It is easy to connect with others when we are being our authentic selves. And the more we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, the more we invite others to do the same. In this way, vulnerability becomes a bridge, linking us to others in a shared experience of human existence. The idea of being vulnerable can be intimidating. There is a fear that others may judge us, ridicule us, or use our openness against us. These fears are natural, but they should not stop us from embracing vulnerability. In fact, it is often through these fears that we experience the most growth. We must learn to trust not only ourselves, but others as well. Trust is built through vulnerability. It is only when we allow ourselves to be seen in our most raw and authentic form that we can begin to develop the kind of meaningful relationships that truly enrich our lives. Vulnerability also has the power to foster empathy. When we open ourselves up to others, when we share our struggles and our triumphs, we create a space for others to do the same. This sharing of experiences allows us to better understand and relate to one another. We begin to see that we are not alone in our struggles, that everyone carries their own burdens, and that our shared humanity is what unites us. Through vulnerability, we create bonds that transcend superficial differences and build a sense of community and connection. At the heart of vulnerability is the idea of self-acceptance. To be vulnerable is to accept ourselves as we are, without the need for external validation or the fear of judgment. It is the acceptance of our imperfections, our flaws, and our mistakes. This doesn't mean we stop striving for improvement or growth, but rather that we embrace who we are in the present moment. By doing so, we create a sense of inner peace that allows us to navigate life's challenges with more clarity and grace. Vulnerability, in this sense, is not about surrendering to weakness. It is about embracing our authentic selves and acknowledging the beauty in our imperfections. The power of vulnerability and the power of lies in its ability to transform. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we release the pressure to be perfect, to have it all together, and to conform to societal expectations. We free ourselves from the constraints of fear and shame, and we open ourselves up to new possibilities. We ask ourselves whether it is the story of an average life, or whether it is the promise of the future and the opportunity to transform the world, to live in a way that fills us. In life, we often face moments when the weight of the world feels unbearable. There are times when things don't go as planned, when the road ahead seems filled with obstacles, or when everything seems to be falling apart. These moments can be disorienting, leaving us feeling lost, uncertain, and overwhelmed. Yet amidst all of this, there is one thing that can help us maintain our balance: inner peace. It is the ability to stay calm and centered, even in the midst of turmoil, that can make all the difference in how we navigate life's challenges. Inner peace is not a state of being without problems or difficulties. It is not the absence of stress or adversity. Instead, it is a mindset, a way of being, that allows us to remain grounded and composed, regardless of external circumstances. When we cultivate inner peace, we develop the ability to see beyond the noise and chaos of life, to respond with clarity and wisdom, and to approach each situation with a sense of calmness and focus, understanding that nothing is ever first. It's our response to the situation that matters the most. This doesn't mean that we won't feel emotions like anger, fear, or sadness. Rather, it means that we learn how to manage these emotions in a healthy way without letting them control us. The key to inner peace lies in our ability to accept what we cannot change. Life is unpredictable, and there will always be things beyond our control. External circumstances, other people's actions, and the events that unfold in our lives are all part of the bigger picture, but we cannot control everything. Trying to force things into place or resist the natural flow of life only leads to frustration and inner turmoil. True peace comes when we release the need for control and accept that there are things we simply cannot change. This doesn't mean giving up or resigning ourselves to fate. Rather, it means acknowledging the limits of our power and choosing to focus on what we can control: our reactions, our mindset, and our choices. Inner peace also requires us to be present in the moment. Often we find ourselves dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, which robs us of our ability to fully experience the present. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. The only time we truly have is now. When we live in the present moment, we free ourselves from the grip of regret, guilt, and anxiety. We stop carrying the weight of past mistakes or worrying about what might happen tomorrow. Instead, we can focus on what we can do today, on the choices we have right now, and by being present, we open ourselves to a deeper sense of peace, because we are no longer consumed by thoughts of what was or what could be. To being present, inner peace is also about finding balance in our lives. Many of us live in a state of constant busyness, trying to juggle multiple responsibilities, goals, and expectations. We run from one task to the next, rarely pausing to breathe or reflect. This constant state of movement can lead to burnout, stress, and a sense of disconnection from ourselves. Inner peace requires us to slow down, to find moments of stillness, and to reconnect with what truly matters. It's important to create space in our lives for rest, reflection, and self-care. This may mean setting boundaries, saying no to things that drain us, or taking time for activities that nourish our soul. When we find balance, we create the conditions for inner peace to flourish. Another essential aspect of inner peace is learning to let go of judgment. It is easy to fall into the trap of judging ourselves and others. We often measure ourselves against unrealistic standards and criticize ourselves for not measuring up. We judge others based on their actions or appearances, and we allow these judgments to fuel negative emotions. However, judgment only creates division and discontent. True peace comes when we release the need to judge and accept ourselves and others as we are. This doesn't mean that we condone harmful behavior or ignore wrongdoing, but rather that we choose not to let judgment cloud our peace of mind. We recognize that everyone is on their own journey, and we allow ourselves to move through the world with compassion and understanding. Gratitude is another powerful tool for cultivating inner peace. When we focus on what we have rather than what we lack, we shift our mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Gratitude helps us appreciate the present moment and the blessings that are already in our lives. It encourages us to find peace in the small things, the warmth of the sun, a kind word from a friend, or a quiet moment of reflection. When we practice gratitude, we train our minds to focus on the positives, which in turn helps to reduce feelings of anxiety, dissatisfaction, and restlessness. Inner peace is also deeply connected to our emotional well-being. It requires us to acknowledge and process our emotions, rather than suppressing or ignoring them. Emotions are not inherently good or bad. They are simply signals that tell us how we are experiencing the world. By allowing ourselves to feel and express our emotions, we prevent them from building up and creating internal conflict. It's important to create space for emotions to move through us without judgment or resistance. In doing so, we foster a sense of emotional equilibrium that supports our overall peace of mind. Inner peace is about trusting ourselves and trusting the process of life. It is the ability to let go of doubt and fear, and to have faith that no matter what happens, we will find a way through. Trust is the foundation of peace because it allows us to surrender to life without fear of the unknown. When we trust, we release the need to control every outcome, and we embrace the flow of life with a sense of confidence and calm. Cultivating inner peace is not a one-time achievement, it is an ongoing practice. It requires us to be patient with ourselves, to be mindful of our thoughts and actions, and to continually choose peace over chaos. It may take time to develop, especially when faced with difficult situations, but the more we practice, the more we will come to understand that peace is not something that can be found outside of ourselves, it is something that we carry within. When we nurture our inner peace, we create a foundation that allows us to weather life's storms with grace and clarity, and ultimately to live with a deeper sense of fulfillment and contentment. In life, we are often told that success is about reaching the destination, achieving a goal, or winning the race. We're conditioned to focus on the end result, on the recognition, and on the rewards that come with success. However, what if the true value of our journey lies not in the destination itself, but in the struggles, setbacks, and challenges we face along the way? What if the obstacles we encounter are not just things to overcome, but opportunities to grow, learn, and become better versions of ourselves? When we face difficulties in life, it's natural to view them as barriers, things standing in the way of our dreams and aspirations. We may feel frustrated or defeated, questioning why things aren't working out the way we hoped. But the truth is that the very struggles we experience are what shape us, refine us, and make us stronger. Challenges have the power to teach us lessons that success alone cannot. They reveal parts of us that we may not have known existed. Strengths we didn't realize we had, resilience we didn't know we could summon, and wisdom we can only gain by enduring difficult circumstances. In this sense, challenges are not simply roadblocks. They are opportunities in disguise. It's important to remember that growth rarely happens in a straight line. The path to achieving anything meaningful is seldom smooth or predictable. There will be setbacks, failures, and unexpected turns, and each of these moments is a chance to recalibrate, to learn something new, and to push ourselves beyond our comfort zones. Every challenge forces us to step up, to dig deeper, and to find new ways of thinking and problem solving. In this way, the struggles we face don't just teach us about the world around us, they teach us about ourselves. The ability to transform struggles into strength lies in our mindset. When we approach challenges with the belief that we can learn from them, that we can overcome them, and that we can grow through them, we begin to unlock our true potential. The key is not to see failure as a permanent state or an end point, but as a stepping stone, a necessary part of the journey. When we fail, we gain valuable insights that can only come from experiencing setbacks. These lessons, though often difficult to face, are essential for our growth and development. It's also important to understand that the growth we experience through struggle is often not immediate. Change takes time, and the process of transformation can feel slow and painstaking. We may not always see the results right away, but that doesn't mean the work we are doing isn't valuable. Much of the growth that happens during challenging times takes place internally. We are reshaping our character, building resilience, and developing new skills that will serve us in the future. When we look back, we may not immediately recognize how far we've come, but the journey will have equipped us with a deeper understanding of who we are and what we are capable of achieving. It's crucial to embrace the idea that growth is often messy. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't unfold the way we expect them to, but the reality is that growth doesn't always happen in neat, orderly stages. Sometimes it feels like we're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and that's okay. The discomfort, confusion, and even setbacks we experience are all part of the process. The important thing is that we don't give up, that we don't allow the challenges to define us. Instead, we view them as opportunities to refine our approach, to try something new, and to persevere through adversity. Challenges. It's essential to recognize that challenges are not just individual experiences. They are shared by all of us. While we may often feel isolated in our struggles, the truth is that everyone at some point faces challenges that push them to their limits. When we are able to view our struggles through the lens of shared human experience, we begin to develop empathy and compassion for others. We understand that we are not alone in our difficulties, and this sense of connection can help us feel supported even when we are going through tough times. We are all learning and growing through our struggles, and by recognizing this, we can develop a sense of solidarity with others. As we continue to face challenges and learn from them, we begin to see that success is not defined solely by the achievement of a specific goal. Success is about the journey itself, the willingness to keep moving forward, to keep learning, and to keep growing, no matter what obstacles arise. The ability to transform struggles into strength lies not in avoiding difficulty, but in embracing it, learning from it, and using it as fuel for progress. Well, the most successful people are not those who have never faced challenges, but those who have faced them with resilience, with determination, and with a mindset that sees every obstacle as an opportunity to grow. Jim Brogan. Challenges are an essential part of life's journey. They are the crucibles in which we forge our character, our strength, and our resilience. When we face difficulties with the right mindset, we learn that growth comes not from avoiding struggle, but from embracing it. Each challenge we encounter is a chance to evolve, to learn, and to become stronger. And in the end, it's not the destination that matters most. It's the person we become along the way. So the next time you find yourself facing a challenge, remember that it is not a barrier to your success, but a stepping stone toward your growth. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it to build the strength and resilience that will carry you forward on your journey. When we talk about success, it's easy to get caught up in the idea of achieving something extraordinary, something that stands out, something that others can see and recognize. We measure our progress based on tangible achievements. accolades, and public acknowledgement. But really, what matters most in life is the constant journey forward towards something truly rewarding.